Hey guys, this is your boy Kato Ken. I just wanted to make a video for Street Fighter 6 talking about the neutral game, specifically in Street Fighter 6, and how to increase your consistency in the neutral in Street Fighter 6. So for a long time when I was playing this game, I had a lot of problems past Diamond and Diamond 1, and even in Masters with dealing with neutral problems. My specific problems in neutral in this game was that I felt that it was very inconsistent. I felt that the neutral in Street Fighter 6 was very inconsistent because of things like, raw drive rush and neutral skip special moves, and jumping in. It was very hard to play the neutral game, like the neutral grounded game, and also try to focus on reacting to raw drive rush or something like a Bison scissors kick, like a neutral skip move like that, and also trying to like react with anti-air. And recently I've been watching a bunch of videos and trying to think about how to reduce like the mental stack and dealing with the mental stack. And essentially a lot of videos on YouTube when it comes to talking about neutral in Street Fighter 6, they don't really help, honestly. Like maybe they'll help you if you're not like used to playing fighting games and you have to learn about basic footsie ideas, but for the most part I couldn't get any help and my neutral kept sucking and I kept losing. But I'm pretty sure as of today I figured out the answer, at least for me, for being able to increase consistency in the neutral game. So essentially what it comes down to is, just like in every other fighting game, you end up having to learn the matchup. So the first thing you do in a fighting game, you pick your character, you pick whoever you want, thinks cool, or for whatever reason. And then what you have to end up doing, you have to start reducing the mental stack, and the way you start doing that in neutral or on offense or really at any point of a fighting game, you have to start learning the matchup. And that just comes down to playing, labbing, thinking about what you need to do, and testing things and watching your replays. It just comes down to getting knowledge and practicing, but it's mainly a knowledge check, honestly. That's what most matchups are. Matchups are really just a knowledge check and a practice check. But the problem with Street Fighter 6 neutral is that, and also a problem with offense, but the main thing is there's just so many good options within one range. So if you're playing the neutral game here, from the range that Kimberly is at right now, she realistically technically has like 4 or 5 good options that she could do, but the problem is you can't eliminate any of them. Kimberly could end up doing something like she could do something like her stand medium kick, you're playing the footsie game, or she could end up doing something like this. She could end up doing her jump in like that, or she could do a drive rush like that. And that's the main problem with Street Fighter 6. You're trying to play neutral with people, trying to play the footsie game, and then they end up randomly jumping in on you, or they end up drive rushing on you, or they end up doing a neutral skip type move like Kami Spiral Arrow spaced out, or maybe a Bison scissor kick or something of that nature. And basically I was just having a problem with reacting, mainly to things like jump, because if I'm trying to play this footsie game and then somebody just jumps in on me, and then I could never anti-air it consistently because I'm too focused on things that are going on the ground, trying to check drive rush, trying to check a fireball or something, or trying to just check things in general. And essentially in this game what you need to do it's going to come down to doing this. So just like I said in any other fighting game, you want to reduce the mental stack by learning the matchup. Of course, from right here, from like this range where Kimberly's at, relative to where you start, Kimberly could drive rush in on you, she could jump in on you, she could teleport, whether it's like, the low slide or whether it's the high. So what I recommend doing and to get good at Street Fighter 6 neutral, if you already know how to play basic neutral in fighting games and footsies, what you need to do to get good at Street Fighter 6 neutral, what you need to do is utilize neutral jump and parry more, and also knowing spacing. And these 3 things are essentially like option selects. Well, they pretty much are. So what you want to do is, when you don't know what Kimberly's gonna do, or when you don't know what another character's gonna do, and you think they're gonna do something that's gonna tax your mental stack, right? So let's say you're playing footsies, you're going back and forth, and for some reason you're starting to get that feeling that you think this person wants to drive rush in, like they want to do like a Jamie drive rush to stand heavy punch or something like that, or maybe they want to do a Jamie palm, or maybe they're just gonna like do some other type of, you know, neutral skip type move. What you want to end up doing, you want to space yourself and be around like jumping range or like whiff punish button range, right? And then what you want to do, you want to either do parry or you want to do like a neutral jump. And the reason why is because, for example, if they do something like, you know, Jamie's drive rush stand heavy punch, you can neutral jump it and like punish him, or you can like parry it, and maybe you'll get lucky and you'll get like a perfect parry, and then you can like, you know, parry him and take your turn. But ideally, you're probably not going to get a perfect parry most of the time. It's better to still get a regular parry, because parry is just essentially better block in this game. So, you know, you parry something and then you can immediately like hold down and block. I would recommend, if like you block like a drive rush or you like parry it or whatever, I would recommend, you know, going for just taking a throw, or if you know they're not going to do a low, you know, like walking back out of it, because essentially, you know, the main problem with this game is the volatility of the neutral. And the reason why it's so volatile is because it's made to be that way. This game is made to be like more inconsistent. But the reason why is because you have options like parry and options like that, and like neutral jumping is like a universal option, and spacing. So essentially what you're supposed to do to make your neutral more consistent is, when you don't know what the opponent is gonna do, or you're getting like too confused or too concerned with where you don't know they're gonna jump in, or if you don't know if they're gonna drive rush in, or if you don't know if they're gonna like do a neutral skip move, what you want to do, you want to play that footsie game, and whenever you get that feeling, you want to parry on reaction to whatever they do that you weren't ready for. So let's say you were playing footsies and then, you know, they randomly jump, but you're not ready to punish it. You want to just parry, or you want to like neutral jump. Those are the main things you want to do. Ideally, in the best situations, you want to like play around this range, but you can't always back up forever, because, you know, you'll get cornered, and at some point you're going to be forced to play in the mid range, because in this game at some point you're going to be forced to commit. You're going to be forced to commit to like some option to stop whatever like thing they're trying to do in neutral, because that's how this game is made inherently. Because like I said, from this range that Kimberly is at, she realistically has, you know, like 4 or 5 good neutral options. She could drive rush in, she could like do her running slide, she could do one of her running teleports, or she could just simply jump in. And every character is pretty much like that in this game, to where in the mid range they have like 4 or 5 options that they can do. So it starts turning the game into like a 50-50 guessing game in the mid range if you don't use parry and if you don't use neutral jump. The reason why you want to use parry or you want to use neutral jump is and have good spacing is because they're your best option selects when you don't know what the opponent's gonna do. So for example, if you think they're gonna jump in on you, or you think they're gonna drive rush press a button on you, or you think they're gonna do a neutral skip button, well, all of those things are strikes, and parries beat strikes. And also, if you neutral jump and you're not in spacing, you beat the strike as well. So whenever you don't know what to do and you're playing a footsie game, right? And when I say by don't know what to do, I mean when you think when you're not sure if your opponent is gonna do one of these good like neutral skip options, what you want to do is just parry, because that gets you out of the mental mix-up. And then the next time you're in this range, you'll have a good idea of where to space yourself, and you'll have a good idea of, okay, last time I parried, Kimberly jumped, or last time I neutral jumped, Kimberly did a drive rush. And you can sub out Kimberly's name for any character. I'm just using her because she's simple. But like essentially it's the same thing. Bison is over there. I'm spacing. Damn, I think he's gonna freaking scissor kick. Jump heavy punch. Bison's right here. I don't know if he's gonna scissor kick or if he's gonna like, you know, do his devil reverse, but I know he's gonna do one of them. So what I'm gonna do is I'll parry or I'll neutral jump. And so then when he does it, okay, now I have the information. So next time I'll be more ready for when I'm in the mid range, and I can more likely when I finally have to commit and get the punish, my punish will be more likely to work because I have information now. Because whenever I was playing neutral, the footsie game with him, we were just playing footsies, and then he just decided, oh, okay, I'm gonna do whichever like neutral skip move I'm gonna do. And then I was ready. I parried it, or I neutral jumped it, or I was able to get back and get to a better spacing, so that way I can react to it, or, you know, just at least be ready for it. And so then like you go, and so then it circles back around. Okay, now my mental stack is going to be lower when I try to react to him, because I have information on him from, you know, parrying and like neutral jumping him and seeing what this particular player likes to do, how they like to neutral skip in the mid range or whatever. And then you'll be more, and then your reaction speed will be higher because you'll know what to do. Reaction speed in fighting games is mostly based on anticipation and knowledge. That's why knowing the matchup is so important, because you need to know what your answers are and what you can do in each given situation. And that's pretty much Street Fighter 6 neutral. Of course, you can do training drills to help your like raw reaction speed, but like, to be honest, training drills are okay, like they help or whatever. But to be honest, it's really just a knowledge and an understanding problem. And so that's really how you get good at Street Fighter 6 neutral. What you have to do is get good at the footsie game, like know how to play basic fundamentals, like that's true. But what you also need to do, you need to understand that in this game, realistically, you're not always gonna be prepared for the 50-50 of, like, you know, people either doing a neutral skip special move, raw drive rush, or doing like a jump in. You're not always gonna perfectly be able to punish it. This game is inherently meant to not have like hard and fast solutions. That's all fighting games, but this game is like, it's especially true because there's just so many things to look out for. Mentally speaking, you're not always gonna have the mental stack to be able to deal with that. You will get overwhelmed. This game is meant to overwhelm you. So that's why they put parry in the game, because parry, it'll help you mitigate that mix-up. It'll help you mitigate the mix-up of them drive rushing and doing a button. It'll help you mitigate the mix-up of, you know, Kimberly running in on you and doing her little slide, and then you can parry it if you're not ready, and you can parry drive rush if you're not ready, and you can also parry a jump in if you're not very ready for it. And then also, like I said, if you're at the right spacing, they do that drive rush or they do a jump, you can neutral jump it, and it's the same option select, but it's another option to help you be more consistent. Yes, these options aren't as rewarding as punishing a jump with a DP or punishing a drive rush with a button, but they will make you consistent, and that's more important than getting the punish straight up. Because in this game, it's not like Street Fighter 5 where the options in neutral are a lot more simple, where you can react. And even in Street Fighter 5, people couldn't always react to somebody jumping or dashing in on them or doing like a character specific neutral skip. So if people can't always react to it perfectly in Street Fighter 5, imagine what happens in Street Fighter 6 when there's like 4 or 5 options in that same mid-range that are all viable and good. You can't mentally eliminate any of those options from the stack. It's just impossible, mathematically speaking too. So what you really want to do is, you just want to, when you don't know what they're going to do, or you think you're too close and you think there are too many options that are likely, but you're thinking they're gonna do something, but you're not sure, parry or neutral jump, like at the right spacing, of course. And then when you get the read and you know what they want to do, or whenever you're at the right spacing, punish them. Punish the drive rush, and you know, punish the neutral skip, and punish the jump in. And that's really how you play Street Fighter 6 neutral. I haven't seen anybody really talk about this that much or go in depth, so that's why I made this video. And so I'm gonna post a clip of me and my gameplay so you can see what I mean. And that's really all I have to say. So thanks for watching, and that's really it.
Let's get